Hello there, action figure fans. Today I've got another review, and we're going to be looking at Armored Batman. So as usual, we'll be taking a look at the box. We'll be looking at the figure, articulation, what makes it special. We'll be looking at how well the figure was brought to life compared to source material. And then we'll look at comparisons of the figure against other figures that are similar to it in certain ways. So stick around and we're going to get right into it. Here we have Armored Batman. Front, sides, nothing special, just says who he is. It is nice that they do specify that it is the Kingdom Come Batman, because Armored Batman is a rather generic term. As far as the back art, we do have some really nice art from the famed Alex Ross. This, of course, comes from the Kingdom Come storyline. And we have a bunch of other characters on here. The only ones I can recognize right off the bat are going to be Green Arrow. I believe that's Jade. I think this is a version of Blue Beetle. Kid Flash. This is part of a much larger picture with a bunch more characters. That's about it. So let's go ahead and get into the actual figure. And here we have Armored Batman from Kingdom Come. So if you don't already know, Kingdom Come is an Elseworlds comic based on a future where everyone is old, Batman is old, Superman's old, and they end up duking it out. That's a real brief overview of it. But what happens is that Batman needs to go fight, and since he's old, he has this really neat bat armor that he uses. So that's where this comes from. So as far as accessories go, we have none. We have the standing plate, and then we have his card right here. Same art as the back of the card. Here we have a brief description. As far as the figure goes, the wings came as separate pieces. They do attach here on both sides, as you can see. They can fold as far as that, although I don't think they are intended to in terms of actual character costume design. The actual one is just a full whole piece wing, and so really that's really just designed, you know, to fit in the packaging. And then we're gonna spin it around. We're gonna take a look at the back. So here's the jetpack thing. I like it a lot because it kind of looks like the Rocketeer pack, which is super neat. As far as the wings though, even though these do appear to be the same shape, they actually do need to go on certain sides. You can tell if you do get this one that this curves like that a bit on these, so you can actually kind of see that it does need to go on a specific side. This one in particular also, you can kind of see how his bat ear on that one is kind of messed up looking. I'm going to attempt to fix that with some hot water right now. And there we go. So it's not perfect, but it's far less noticeable now, although I guess you can kind of see it there. But for me, I'm happy with that. So in terms of articulation, what I really like is that I was actually thinking that this actually isn't the typical diaper situation, but it actually sort of is, and it's just so well done that it really blends in really well, because the way it's working is that the black that you're seeing here is part of the kind of skeletal system that's typical of the McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. But because of the design of the costume, the figure, it doesn't have to be as wide to cover, because it's not fully like connected like pants are. So it doesn't have that same issue that a lot of others do, that whenever you bring the legs up, that it doesn't impact the diaper here the way that it often does on pretty much every other figure. So that's really nice. And fortunately, it doesn't look like the knees have double jointing because of the design, but they actually do. So you can see that you have the two pegs there, and when I bend it up like that, you can see that he in fact can bend his leg all the way back. So that's pretty awesome. We still have fairly standard McFarlane articulation for the feet. So he does have the toe articulation, so foot can go like that, although we don't really have ankle tilt on here. At least I can't make it happen. I'm afraid of breaking it. If you can confirm that actually can, then let me know, but otherwise I'm assuming that it can't. We do get a couple clicks forward and maybe one click back. For the arms, we have least that much out, which is great because actually that's actually pretty spot on for the pose that we have in our art. So that's cool. We have closed fists and no alternate hands, but if we're only going to have one set of hands for a Batman, then I'm just glad that they are in fact fists. So that works out pretty good. The weird fake muscle thing is kind of weird, but I think that's accurate to the actual design because, again, it's more like a robotic suit to help him be mobile because he is really old in this comic. The belt, it was neat, and it actually came covered with a bit of tape to protect it while in packaging. So I was surprised by that. I've not seen that on any other McFarlane figures so far. I would also be concerned about these pieces because, you know, he did go for pretty accurate, and because of that, I think they are potentially also a bit fragile. On the backside, you can even see that the costume is complete with the way it likely is in the comic. I'm not sure if I can find an image of how that looks, but if it's there, then I'll show you. As far as elbow articulation, we don't have double joints. We only get not even a full 90 degrees. That's as far up as that guy is gonna go. And for the head, he can twist a bit. That's basically as far as you can go on both sides. The plastic here is a soft plastic that allows it to push into it so that his head can turn. Otherwise, we can look down, and that's as high up as he can look. And really, that's not even up, that's more just straight. So he can't really bend his head higher than that. Let's do a quick close-up on the face. It looks really good. You can actually see that they did a really good job actually getting the dimple in there too on his chin. That is definitely the design of at least this Bruce Wayne. I think that was really well done. So here he is next to Rebirth Batman. You can actually see that Rebirth Batman is shorter than our Kingdom Come Batman, and even though his legs are out a bit, which should drop him a bit, that means that he is even that much taller than him. So both are McFarlane line, so that's actually really interesting of how big of a difference that those two are. And here he is next to Kingdom Come Superman from the Mattel line. I believe this was one of the last figures that they put out before they lost the license to McFarlane. So hopefully McFarlane does put out a Superman from Kingdom Come. I won't be surprised if he does because he primarily makes Batman and Superman figures, but it will pair really nicely once he does make one of these Superman figures. That's it for this review. If you liked the video, then please give me a like. Otherwise, if you want to see more of this, then you might like my Dark Knight Trilogy review that I'll link right here.